it's Gary from Dtflures, custom lure makers from West Auckland, New Zealand. I began fishing like a lot of other people in New Zealand, young lads, fishing off wharfs and estuaries around about 30 years ago, and ever since then it's been in the blood and an addictive pastime for everyone, as you know. And yeah, so it came from wharfs, rivers, fishing in dinghies with my father, grandfather, brothers, and escalated from there. A lot of the fishing up till 10-15 years ago was done predominantly for snapper and kingfish and stuff like that around the waters of 𝓚𝓪𝓰𝒆 and the 𝓚𝓪𝓰𝒆 Gulf, and we still enjoy doing that sort of fishing, but obviously it's developed into the blue water marlin fishing and other pelagic species. Really have an addiction and love for it, and the lures were born after I caught first marlin, and it was actually just a winter hobby that my friend sort of said, why don't we give it a go and try and make our own? So I was like, okay, and it was basically, the first ones looked like rubbish sort of thing, but they had shapes to them and things like that, and developed a few, enough to make a spread that were usable. And that spring we decided to take a trip to 𝓚𝓪𝓻𝓰𝒆 and Tonga and took the lures over for trialling. They were pretty basic back then, but they had colours, etc., that we thought were a bit different and would work. And it was very, very good trip and taught us a bit with one of our lures hooking and unfortunately losing at the boat a decent blue marlin, and then about 1 hour later landing my father a good sized sailfish on that same lure. So from then it was like, yeah, these things can catch fish, and that started a process of tinkering with things in between spring and summer when we were getting back into the game fishing, which was very exciting as I developed new shapes and stuff like that, along with perfecting the quality and how they looked and things like that. So the first year or two was, we sold a few, but it was predominantly us trying to get results and a few of my friends, etc. And the first sort of season, it was for one of my mates, it was the first marlin landed on the west coast out here. It was caught on one of our lures, a good size one, 150 kg sort of range. So that was when it sort of was like, yep, other people were starting to catch fish on them, and there could be something from this. So it just progressed from that, and as you go on, like other lure makers, it's just quality gets better, you understand what works, what doesn't, helping out new fishermen and experienced fishermen with new and different things that aren't in the market, and it's all sort of run by the passion for fishing, and we try to get out like other lure makers as much as possible, and there's no better buzz than hooking a fish on something that you've crafted and made yourself. Moving forward, and created this YouTube channel to share some knowledge, rigs, not just with game fishing, but also inshore fishing for snapper, and all sorts of tips and tricks. We'll look to get some people on the show, share their knowledge, share some knowledge from my family members that they've taught me some things and stuff like that. Rigging, of course, what lures do and why they do it, shapes, sizes, colours, bait fish for the waters around New Zealand and around the Pacific and other countries where we've had success and learnt the sort of trends that go on with these sorts of things. As I mentioned, that first trip in Tonga where we trialled the lures, this was the particular lure that caught the fish, caught a blue marlin and sailfish, and that is now called the Snooky after them. And yeah, so it's a bit of a historical one. It's the first fish ever caught. We keep that in our little museum in the workshop here. So from there, that brought the inspiration to develop new ones, and yeah, that's a bit of history. We'll run through 3 of our top performers. So this lure here is the 𝓚𝓪𝓻𝓰𝒆, and that colour in particular, purple over black and blue, has produced us good results in New Zealand on our personal boat. We run it that colour at short corner, and it's got that very reflective purple head with all the attributes of a small skipjack. Works well in all conditions. It's a 12-inch plunger sort of lure. You can run it on the riggers and other positions, but yeah, we usually run this colour and maybe one at long corner, depending on the conditions, etc. like that. So that's the 𝓚𝓚𝓻𝓰𝒆, one of our top lures. Old Faithful Snooky, the one that got us the first one. Very versatile. Chuck that out the back at shotgun and it'll catch everything: marlin, sailfish, tuna, the lot, wahoo, and that colour's the power puff colour again, which we believe is a bit of a flying fish colour. And yeah, that's one that we have a shotgun, and every now and then it'll get a big bang on it, and it packs more punch than its size. It's smaller than 10-inch, but has quite a big action on it for a smaller lure. This lure here, Situation, has been our top performer the last season. It's got a large face and it's got a very erratic sort of action with a large splash. Best run long corner short rigger. A few months ago it caught the ladies 15 kilo New Zealand record yellowfin tuna up north in Whangaroa. We mainly run it in blue mode, but this colour here is one of our custom coloured Jack Max, which has accounted for lots of fish in that shallow water area where Jack Max predominate. And yeah, that colour combo there with that head shape is a real killer. So that's a very versatile lure. They'll catch you anything, and all 3 of those will always be in our spread if we're targeting tuna or marlin and other species. So that's just a quick run through of our top 3 lures. So it's the 𝓚𝓚𝓻𝓰𝒆, great on the short corner, angled face of course, the Snooky, great shotgun lure or long rigger, another small angle face, and the versatile Situation, which was our top performer this year. So if you're interested in any of these lures or any queries, the best place to contact us is on Instagram or Facebook, Dtflures, and we will be putting the link below to both of those. We're new to this, but we're going to be trying to put up videos almost every week of different things. So like and subscribe. The content will hopefully get better. Please excuse the inexperience and the wildlife in the background. We live on a farm. Video suggestions, give us comments and recommendations. That's always helpful, and we'll try and do the best what we can do there. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.